This new set photo has certainly caught my attention, and now all I want to see is this bat suit in action. Greyson Talks, the Batman set photos. So, the main reason I want to see this costume in action is because the past Batman suits that have been worn by other actors have been very stiff and very unmovable and unwalkable. So there's not a lot of good Batman action sequences. But Christopher Nolan was pretty close with The Dark Knight with that amazing car chase scene in the middle of the movie. But still, the suit just looks so unwalkable and just unmovable that made a lot of the action scenes very inconsistent. But this suit right here, this is a suit I would actually believe somebody would wear into an actual battle, because this is something like an army man would wear, but with extra pizzazz, because it's just so breathable. But let's get into this conversation, because I like this a lot, even though it is very different, but still somehow very authentic. And obviously, as you can see here, that is not Robert Pattinson. That's actually his stunt double. Um, he looks very more buff and bigger than Robert Pattinson. So I don't know what Matt Reeves is exactly trying to do here, because Pattinson has a very wire-like form. And then, as you can see, there's another stunt double right here. And based on the eyebrows, I could probably tell that that's Zoe Kravitz's stunt double for Catwoman. And when I was first thinking about it, I'm like, is that really what Catwoman's going to wear? Because that's like a really bad costume. Like, I could see the belt that she usually wears there and everything, but that looks like something like a regular stunt goon that you just chase down and defeat like in the first 10 minutes of a movie type of costume. I really hope she does not wear that. But I also wouldn't want her to become like a love interest version of Robin, and I really don't like the fact that they've kind of made her a part of the Bat family, because that's just not who the character is. She's supposed to be playing both sides, both Rogues Gallery and Bat Family. But if this is Catwoman, they at least got one thing right, and is that she's working with Batman. And in the comics, they are obviously not opposed to working with each other, since they're, love interests. But let's get back to Batman in the suit. Boy, oh boy, those ears were a very, very bold choice. Even the Bat Cycle has like more broad and more longer ears. It's honestly insane why they chose to do that. And I personally feel like a lot of stuff could have been done with the cowl. Um Especially if they're doing goggles or eye lenses, that could have been a perfect chance to do the white contact lenses, and that would be really cool and really awesome. And I think really a lot of people would love to come and see that. But down to the rest of the suit, I still don't know why they chose to make the bat signal or the bat emblem based off or just made out of the gun that killed his parents. I feel like that's very impractical. But I also think that from far away, the emblem actually resembles a lot of the earlier comics that he wore his bat emblem, because the ears weren't as long until the late 70s. And with the rest of the costume, I really like how it looks a lot like Batman White Knight, or the costume that Batman wore, because it was a lot more grittier and a lot more tactical. And with the collar, it does also appear in Batman White Knight, but it also reminds me a lot more of Gotham by Gaslight. And lately, some set photos have also leaked of just pictures of pumpkins everywhere and Halloween themed gangs in the area of shooting. So it kind of makes me feel like they're trying to base it off of Batman: The Long Halloween. At first glance, this seems like a brilliant idea, since Batman is more of a gothic character. But even in Batman: The Long Halloween, each issue highlighted like a different holiday, which is one of the coolest parts about the comic series. So there really is no real way you could do that in under 2 hours. Like that would be better fit for like a Batman streaming show where each episode could be highlighted as its own issue slash holiday, and they could be named after a different holiday, which would really be cool. And even if they were to even go with just the straight Halloween theme, that would also work. Due to the type of villains and rogues galleries Batman has. But this movie is set to come out June 25th of 2021. So it's not even near Halloween. And again, since Batman is such a gothic character, the October release date would be great for him. Like it worked for Joker, it made $1 billion at the box office. So that October release date works if your movie is a Halloween movie. I also just really like how serious Matt Reeves is taking the Batman character because I really also really like the fact that you cannot see his eyes. That's been like my main problem with the Batman costumes lately is because you could see his eyes and that's not supposed to happen. That makes him feel like vulnerable. That makes you feel like you could take him. Cuz if you're a criminal, Batman is supposed to like terrorize you and if you can see his eyes, like you probably just laugh at him because he's basically just a rot job in a bat suit. I also just like how prepared this suit looks cuz like there's so many pockets and so much on his utility belt. He even has a leg pouch cuz he's like I can't have enough leg pouches because like in the comics, it seems like he always had just enough for him, which is always seemed quite funny in the comics. I also find it hilarious how on like his arms and like his gauntlets, like you could see like the bat motif, but if you look closer, they're just straps to keep on the weapons on his gauntlet. Because like in the comics, they were used to be defensive and offensive, but here they're just straps, and I find that very interesting. I am still not quite sure on like the shoulder pad things because it kind of gives it like a BMX look, which honestly for Robert Pattinson I kind of understand, but on the stunt double it kind of looks a little stupid. But again, with the BMX look, it does make sense for Robert Pattinson because it would bulk him up significantly and it works with his small stature. So, in conclusion, I like this a lot, but it's still very different, but yet still authentic. Like, from far glance, I could still know what I'm looking at, like, it's Batman, but when you, like, take a closer look, it's like, ooh, some changes. So that's what I think of these new set photos. What do you think? Share your thoughts down below, and don't forget to subscribe to Greyson Talks Everything.